welcome back, Book Specialties, to my channel. Today, as you can see by the title, we are going to be talking about all the series that I am in the middle of. I will put up the number I think it is right here. I don't actually know how many it is. And then we'll actually see how many I'm in the middle of. We're first going to go through all the ones that I do not have physically on my shelf right here in the one book I have over there. But these are series that I have either read the first book in, I read the first and second book in, or just series where I have at least read one book I have started and I plan to continue on with said series. The first book on this list, the first series on this list is the Wayward Children series by Seanan McGuire. I have read the first 2 books in this series. Now these are little short novellas and there are 10 of them. And I've only read the first 2. I think I listened to them on audiobook earlier in the year. I don't really remember. But I do know that they are short novellas. And I'm pretty sure different little stories about this school, I think. I don't really remember. And this is a bad thing because I do want to continue on this series because I was enjoying them. I know there's a story about Jack and Jill, but it was gender bent because they were both girls, and then it wasn't a boy and a girl. They're just both girls, and that's all I remember is that one. But I want to continue on. I just don't know when that will be. I think I want to get the physical copies because, like I said, they're really short. They'll be easy to flip through. So the next series I have for you is the Royal Elite series by Raina Kent. This is a 6 or 7 book series. It's a dark romance series. I don't know if they are mafia related, but I know they are dark romance. And I think the first one of the first couples is a bully romance, which I'm not really a fan of, but I'll read it. It's just you won't get a higher rating than 4. Bully romances will never be a 5-star for me because I just don't care for them. But Raina Kent has all these books that she's written, and they all kind of interconnect with each other, and I want to get through all of that. But first, we're going to start small and just try and get through the Royal Elite series. I think I've read the first 3 books in that series, excluding the prequel, which is The Cruel King. So I think I've just read about Aiden and Elise's story. I think that's her name. Elsie. It's one of the 2. I don't remember. And I read those books about them. I don't remember what they are called. I know one of them is a Deviant King, and that's it. But I read those 3 books about that one couple, and I enjoyed them very, very much. And I would like to continue on with the friends in this series, so I can't wait. The next series is a trilogy that I've read the first 2 books in, and I just need to finish the 3rd one, and that is the Rochetti Dynasty by Bree Porter. The Rochetti Dynasty by Bree Porter is a mafia series. It's arranged marriage, I believe. When I read the first 2 books, I just need to read the 3rd one. I'm pretty sure the second one ended up on a big cliffhanger with someone ended up and so I kind of want to continue and finish the series now to see how it ends. And see how our characters end up, if they have a happily ever after. I really hope they do. I think they do. From what I know, it's a happily ever after series. So I'm really excited to see where it goes because I really enjoyed books 1 and 2. They were fun, quick, easy reads. There's nothing special, but I want to finish it out just to say I finished it. I don't want to read the last book unread. That just seems stupid. The next trilogy I have for you is the Farseer trilogy by Robin Hobb. I've only read the first one, which is The Assassins something. I don't remember what it's called, but I know it's The Assassins something, and all the books are kind of like that. And I really enjoyed book 1, and I want to continue on as I think it's an epic fantasy or high fantasy. Something or the other, and most of her series are connected, but they're broken up into different parts. And I'm really excited to continue on with Robin Hobb because I really enjoyed the first book in the Farseer trilogy, and I can't wait to continue on. The next series I have for you is the Addicted series by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I have read Addicted to You and Ricochet, which is like the first 2 books in that series. And I think there are 5 books in that series. But the way you're supposed to read that is with the Calloway Sister series. So I think you're supposed to read the first 3 books and the Editor series, then switch to like the next 2 books and the Calloway Sisters, I think, and then kind of go alternate back and forth like that. I really enjoyed the first 2 books in the Editor series. I was trying to think of the main characters' names, and they're not coming to the top of my head right now. But I really enjoyed it. It is about a sex addict and a alcoholic who like ended up dating and falling in love, helping each other cover up with their families for their addictions, while also trying to stop each other and help each other with their addictions. It's very toxic, but I also feel like it's just gonna be something that really hurts me and gets me like my emotions going with that one. The next book series I have for you is The Three Fates Mafia by Cleo Evans. I've only read the first book in the series, and it's a 5-book series. I don't know if all 5 books are out. I know the next 2 are out. The second and the third book are out, but I don't know if all 5 books are out. I can't remember the name of the first one. This is how you know I read too many series, because I can't remember the names of books. But these are like, Cleo Evans is notoriously known for her monster romances. Usually the female main character is, or even male main character is human, while their love interest is not. It's a monster, whether that be like a succubus or whatever it may be along those lines. It is some type of monster. And I eat those up. I eat them up every time. She has another series. I cannot remember the name of it right now, but I also need to finish that series out by her. If I can remember the name of it, I'll put it on the screen. But I read like the first like 3 or 4 books in that other series of hers, and they are super, super good. They're super smutty. They're like short little novellas about these people finding like their mates and stuff and like falling in love. And they're short and they're smutty, but they're so good. They carry so much story in them sometimes. And I just absolutely eat them up every single time. Every single time. The next book series I have for you is the Bright Fall series by Ashley Herring Blake. And this is a set of interconnected standalones. They each follow a different couple, and they are each a sapphic. I love me some queer romances. I love some sapphic romances. I love some MM romances. I just love queer romances in general. They are my happy place, okay? You don't get to judge. You should read them. They're good. They're sometimes better than some of these straight ones that you'll be reading about, okay? I read the first 2 books of the series. It's not that I'm not excited to read the 3rd book in the series. I was just trying to use them as like palate cleansers in between me reading all the fantasy that I read, because I read mainly fantasy, so I use them as palate cleansers, and I just have not gotten around to reading the 3rd one. I think the 3rd one is about Astrid, which I'm really, really excited about, because she was in a relationship with somebody, but I think they broke up in book 1 or 2 of the series. So I'm super, super excited to read about Astrid and her story, and see how she falls in love with whoever she falls in love with. The next series I have for you is the Ember and the Asher series by Salma Tahir. This is a 4-book fantasy series. I have read the first 2 books in it, and I need to read the last 2 books in it to finish out the series. Now, when I start buying them physically, I will probably reread the 1st and 2nd book. I know they got new covers, and I actually like the new covers over the like old covers, which is an unpopular opinion for some people, but but I'm pretty sure those spines will line up when I have them on my shelves. I really enjoyed this book series. It hurts. Salma Tahir knows how to hurt you, and I'm fine with that. I love me a good little hurt in the book. I just need to prepare myself to finish these last 2 books, because I have a feeling that a lot of hurt is coming my way from the way that book 2 ended, and also the things that happened in book 2 were a lot like more kick to it than book 1. Like, I thought book 1 was deep. Book 2 took it up about 5 other levels, and I'm just so ready for Salma Tahir to destroy me. So the next book series I have is The Flowers of Prophecy by Natalie Hernandez, which is a 3-book series that I know of. I don't know if there's going to be a 4th one. I think it's just 3. I read the first one via audiobook earlier this year, and I really, really enjoyed it. And there are 2 more books following that. I think it's like The Follower of Flower. Like, I don't know the name of these books. Don't yell at me. But like I said, there are 2 more books that I know of. I know the 3rd one is called The Daughters of Danray, which, if I remember correctly, is something that happened, like, the main character in book 1 goes to, like, Danray or something. And I just really, really enjoyed the first book. I gave it like 4 stars, I believe. It's an interesting take on a like fantasy book that I've never really read, and I really, really liked it. So I know I was kind of shocked that I liked it, but it was really good and I enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to continue on with it. The next book series I have for you is Realm Breaker by Victoria Aveyard. This is a 3-book series. I really liked the first one, and it was good. It was good. I think I gave it like a 3.75. It wasn't quite a 4-star, I believe, but I enjoyed it. So I enjoyed it enough to want to continue on with the series and read the second one, and maybe even the third one. We'll see how I enjoy the second one. But I at least want to continue on and read the second one. If I don't like the second one, I can do another series, but I have a feeling that I'm going to absolutely love it. So I'm excited to continue on with it. It follows a pretty large cast of characters. I think you have like 4 or 5 characters that you are following throughout the story. It's a 500-page book, if I remember correctly. I don't really remember anything else besides all of that. I do know that there were like a set of twins who were at war. One was good, one was bad, and things happen. And like one of the female main character that we're following is the daughter of one of them. So that's all I remember. But I'm excited, because I like that series more than I like the Red Queen series, and I don't know if I'm going to continue on with the Red Queen series. We'll see. I have the last 3 books in that series, but I don't think I'm going to continue on with it. I still am very undecided, and if I do make a decision, then I will let you guys know. The next book series I have for you is Sinners Anonymous by Psalm Sketcher. This is like a dark romance series. I think it's like mafia or like organized crime or something like that. Read book 1. Book 1 ate it up so good, 4 stars. And I think book 2 is following the brother of the MMC from book 1. And I think this brother might be my favorite. I fear I might read his books with his love interest and rate it 5 stars, because I was so invested in him. I want to know more, so I need to continue on with that series. I just have yet to do so, because I usually use like romance books in general. I like palette cleansers in between all of the fantasy that I read, because I read so much fantasy. I just need like a little palette cleanser sometimes. The next book series I have for you is The Ouroboros by H.E. Edgman. This is a duology. I have read the first book, which is Godly Heathens, and I need to read the second one, which I think is The Merciless Saviors, I believe it is. And this is following our main character who like reincarnates every like so many years, and like they basically fight the same fight every single time that they like reincarnate. And I love the thought of reincarnation for something like this, and I feel like each time has been so different, but we're getting the story of the now timeline, and it was so good. I remember rating it like a 4.5 stars. I know for sure I listened to the audiobook of this one, and I really, really, really enjoyed it. I would like listen to it while I was like folding towels, washing clothes, like doing like those small itty bitty things. So my mind was listening to it, and I was just doing mindless things. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I need to get around to book 2. I know when I read the book wasn't out yet, and it came out earlier this year. But I need to continue on and finish that duology, because it was way too good for me to not want to read the second book. The next series I have for you is the Inheritance Game series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is a book series where I only have the last book in the series left. Like I said, I am terrible about starting series. I will leave one book unfinished, which is the case for a lot of these series. And I think that's absolutely insane for me to do. But with that being said, I do need to finish this one. I've just been kind of putting it off because I don't want it to end. I really don't. I love these characters, like Jameson and Grayson and Nash, and like all of these characters have a little special place in my heart that I don't want to like stop. And I know there's like a spin-off series after it, but like I don't think it's gonna hit the same as the Inheritance Games ever will. Like that, just the joy I got from reading the Inheritance Games and the Hawthorne Legacy, I don't think it's a feeling I will ever feel ever again. So with that being said, I really need to finish this out in 2025, and I really hope I do. I really hope I do. Next series I have for you is the Crowns of the Axia series. I'm only including this in the book series I don't physically own, because I don't have book 1 with me right now, because I left it somewhere and I need to get it back. And so I can't finish reading the book until I get it back, and it's going to bother me because I don't know when I'm going to get it back, and I'm going to like scream. Like I'm going to go feral. But this is Carissa's second series that she is writing after she finished writing the Daughter of No World series. Is a series after that she's writing. It's not connected in any way. It's a separate series, completely different. It is with like vampires, which love. I'm a Twilight, okay? I'm a Twilight stan. I don't care how trashy the movies are. I really don't. They're for entertainment, okay? It's entertainment. I find entertainment in it. So what? So what? And so I really am enjoying book one. I wasn't in the beginning, but now that I'm over halfway through the book, I'm about 20% into the book. I'm really enjoying it, and I enjoy our characters and the relationship that they are building, and I can't wait to see how it is. And the last book I have on here that I do not physically own at the moment is the Shades of Magic trilogy by V.E. Schwab. I've only read the first book in the series, but I really, really enjoyed it. It's a different take on magic, and how magic is used, because you have these different Londons. You have white London, red London, black London, white, black, red, and gray London, and those are your 4 Londons. Now, black London you don't go to because magic has completely overtaken that world and nobody ever goes to it. And then you have your other 3 Londons and stuff like that. I really enjoy the setup of this book, and I cannot wait to see where our characters go and what they do in book 2. But I have a feeling that this is going to become one of my favorite series of all time, and no one can stop me. Now on to all the books that I do physically own, which is pretty much everything that you can see behind me, and then the ones that are up there that you cannot see. So let's just go ahead and get started. The first I have is the Dark First series by Runitz, which I have the first 2 books in this series, which focuses on one couple. There are 5 books in this series. Another 3rd book focuses on 2 main characters that we meet in this like duet right here of these couple. So I'm super excited to see where it goes. It's all interconnected and they're solving one big mystery of this syndicate. And I'm super, super excited to see where book 3 takes us on this journey, because of what happens in book 2 with our characters and the main character and the male main character of book 3. So I'm super excited to see what happens. I cannot wait to read and continue on with the series. I know it's people's favorite series of all time. Although the last book was quite disappointing for them, they still really enjoyed it and they still ate it up. So I'm excited. The next book series I have for you is the Never After series by Emily McIntyre. I only have the first 2 books in this series, and I've only read the first one. Now this one is on my January TBR if you have seen that video. And listen, these are dark fairy tale retellings. I don't want to say retelling, but they are based on fairy tales, and they are just dark and twisted. Okay. It is an adult fractured fairy tale, and these are really, really good. But make sure you look up your trigger warnings, because like I just said, they are fractured fairy tales from Disney and stuff. This one is about Hook and Wendy, and then this one is following Scar and I forgot who. And so I'm really excited to be reading this series and see where it goes. They're all standalones, and you can read them out of order, but I'm going to read them in order, because why would I read them out of order? The next book series I have for you is one where I have read the first 2 books and have yet to continue on with them, and I feel like that's a crime. But it is a Twisted series by Anna Wong, which is Twisted Love, Twisted Games, Twisted Hate, and Twisted Lies. Twisted Lies is on my TBR for January. To be honest with you, I don't think I'm going to get to it, but I wanted to add it on there for me to get enough to read book 3 in the series, because I have yet to do so. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I really don't. I really, really don't. So this might not get read until later in the year. I just don't foresee myself reading it in January, even if it is on my TBR. But I kind of want to read this anyways, just to see Stella and Christian's story, because I could care less about Jules and Josh. That's the one book that I really don't want to read. I have a feeling that my rating of this series will go exactly like this. This will be the way I rate this series, but I don't know yet. We'll see. I don't need to read the last 2 books in this series. I am excited for, like I said, I'm excited for Christian and Stella's story, but just not for Jules and Josh. And that's what's really put me off from reading it, is I don't want to read Twisted Hate. The next book series that I have for you, it's a 4-book series. Once again, they are in the middle of getting traditionally published. I think the first one just recently came out in the traditional published version of it, and the second book is coming out later, at a later date and time. And that is the Kindred's Curse Saga by Penn Cole. I only have the first 2 books in this series. I read the first one, and I will probably read this rather soon because I've been seeing people read this one. It's making me want to go back and read this one because, oh my god, the way book 1 ended on a cliffhanger, and the way I'm so excited to see where DM goes on her story in book 2. Now, I do want to buy book 3 in the indie published version before it gets traditionally published, and I can't buy it in that version anymore, and I think I want to do that rather soon, so I can at least say I have the first 3 books, because book 4 never got to get indie published before it got picked up by a publisher. But I do foresee myself reading this actually very soon. I am in the mood to read it. I have been thinking about it, so maybe I'll do a little reread of book 1 and then pick this up there soon after. I'm super excited. Like, I feel like this series is going to be a 5-star series for me, and that I'm never going to stop about it. Point blank, period. The next book series I have for you is one of my favorites right now that I cannot stop thinking about, but I'm absolutely terrified for the heartbreak I know is going to happen in book 2 of this series, and that is the War of Lost Hearts series by Carissa Broadbent. I have books 1 and 2. I have read recently, actually, but like recently as in like I read this like maybe like a 2 or 3 weeks before filming this video, and I rated this 4.5 stars, and like, why did no one tell me this book was so good? Like, some people read the Crowns of Nyaxia series first and think this one's lacking, but I read this first, and I think the Crowns of Nyaxia series is lacking because this is infinitely times better in my opinion. There's more character depth. There's like, I find the characters more relatable. Like, it just is better in my opinion, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I do want to read book 2, Children of Fallen Gods, which I got this a few days ago. Because I was like, I need to have it on hand for whenever I'm ready. I cannot wait until I'm ready to read it, to order it, and then wait for it to get here. Like, I need it on hand immediately. And once I start book 2, I will probably go ahead and order book 3 because I am way too invested in these characters, and Tasana and Max, and like all of these characters who I have come to really enjoy and love. I need more of them. Okay, I want you to pick up the series. Please, I am begging you. Please pick it up. You'll love it. I think you will. I think you will. The next book series I have for you that I'm currently in the middle of is a chunky one. Oh my god, this is like weights in my hand. Like, holding this should be illegal. Like, what am I doing? But the next one is the Bloodcrate series by Vila Roth. Like, these first 2 books are chunky, and then like they split book 3 up into 2 parts because of how long they were going to be. Like, it was going to be probably about 800 pages of what? Of some good story. Okay, this is a good story. I'm absolutely in love with it. It's one of my favorite stories of all time. I know it's pretty early to say things considering I've only read the first 3, and I haven't even fully read book 3 because book 3 is split into 2 parts. But I absolutely love this series. I love the characters. Like, yeah, they're chunky, but I feel like not a page is wasted on these series. It's so, so good. I rated book 1 like 4.5. I rated book 2 5, and then I think I rated book 3 4.75. Like, these are just so absolutely fabulous, and I cannot wait to continue on with it. I know there are 8 books out with a 9th to come out, I believe. I'm not completely sure on how many are in here, but I have time to catch up because I read these like 1 every month or so, just because they're such chunky books, and I know it's gonna take me about a week or so to read them because of how chunky they are. Like, I know this first one is about, yeah, this is over 600 pages. Like, this is 634 pages, and I know this one's about 500. Yeah, this is close to 600. So I'm going to get to the series very slowly because they're chunky books, but I'm absolutely loving it. The next book series I have for you, I have read the first book twice now, and I have yet to continue on, so this might be a series by DNF. I'm not completely sure of yet. I want to give book 2 a chance to see if it'll pull me in a bit more than book 1 did, and if it doesn't, then I will DNF. And that series is the Air Comes to Rise series by Chloe C. Penaranda. The first book being An Heir Comes to Rise, and the second one being A Queen Comes to Power. Now, there's obviously a big difference between the two because this one is just barely 400 pages. I don't even think it is 400 pages. It's not. It's 382. While this one is like 500. Yeah, it's 513. So, I mean, I don't know. I rated this one like a 3.5 star. It's not my favorite. I did like it enough to want to continue on with the series, but I might just like, this might be a series I just literally listen to the audiobook of and like get rid of my physical copies after reading them. I'm not completely sure of it yet, but I just know that it has taken me way too long to read book 2 in this series, and usually with something like that, I do try and do enough of series, but I don't know just quite yet if I want to or not, although I probably should, but I want to give it a fair chance before I just call it quits. The next book I have for you, I recently read this, and when I listened to the audiobook while reading along in the physical book, and I really, really enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to pick up book 2, buy book 2 and pick it up, and also listen to an audio, because I think this series is going to be an audio series for me. And that is A Court This Cruel and Lovely, which is the first book in the Kingdom of Lies series. This is a 4-book long series. I did not know what this series is about. I just had heard plenty of people that I know and trust talk about it and so that they really liked it, and it's a fun series to read, and I agree. It is fun. It's nothing like out of this world. It's probably something you've seen a million and one times over and over and over again, where this poor girl has like powers she shouldn't have. Her powers get discovered, so she has to go on the run and yada yada yada, and there's Fae involved and like just so many other things, and like this like king who wants all the power for himself. Like I said, it's nothing that you've probably never seen before, but it's one that is still fun and enjoyable. And like I said, I cannot wait to read book 2 because the banter and the found family aspect I feel coming on in this series is one that I'm probably really going to eat up and love. The next book series that I have for you is one where I've only read the first book in the series. I don't know why I have not yet continued on with it, but I haven't yet. And that is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. Like I said, I have only read the first book in the series, which is Caraval. And I need to read Legendary and Finale and the spin-off series after this. That's the reason I really wanted to read Caraval, is to read that series. And I know some people can say you can go into that series without having read Caraval, but I would prefer to read Caraval and then go into that series. So knowing that, I need to get a move on. If I can read all 6 books, I think it is, that'd be amazing. Like, that'd be fantastic. The next book series is one by Leigh Bardugo. Now, it's split into different like series and duologies, but I'm just going to include it as one big series, and that is the Grishaverse, starting with the Shadow and Bone trilogy. Now, I have finished the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I have read the first book in the Six of Crows duology, which is Six of Crows. So I really only have 3 books left in the 7-book like series that I'm counting as one big series. But it's been so long since I read all of them that I plan to do rereads when I pick it back up. So I gotta start back over at Shadow and Bone trilogy, and then, but I know I'm going to fly through these because I've already read these and I enjoyed these. And the Shadow and Bone trilogy was one of my favorite series that I've read ever, just because of the characters and the found family aspect in all of these, and it's just like a good book that I absolutely love. The next book series I feel like is a crime that I have yet to finish it after being so obsessed with these characters and how I feel about this book series, and that is the Throne of God series by Sarah J. Maas. Listen, I have read all the way up until Queen of Shadows, okay? And I reread Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight this year, and I am due for my reread for The Assassin's Blade, so I can go ahead and start finishing out the series because I need to. I have been reading this since I got back into reading in about 2021, and the fact that I have not finished these, crime? Like, who allowed me to not finish these? Like, who told me not to finish these? It wasn't myself. I don't know what you're talking about if you say myself. I'm not my own person. Or am I don't really know. But this is one of my favorite series of all time. And I know I've said about a lot of big series, but I literally mean this. Like, I seen this series as a 6-star series without even finishing it. which tells you a whole lot, okay? It tells you a whole lot, and so you should listen to me and read it. The next book series, as you can see, is the Atlas series by Olivia Blake. This is a dust jacket because my book is on the bed over there. Hold on. I have the first two books in this series. I have read the Atlas 6 once before. I am currently doing my reread of it at the moment, so I can go into book 2 with a fresh mind of what happens in book 1. And I'm super excited to continue on. I just have heard mixed things out of the last two books in the series, but I want to be one of the people who absolutely love this and devour it and eat it up, and it's one of the favorite series of all time. I want Olivia Blake to become a favorite author of mine. I want to read all of her books. Like, I just want to become an Olivia Blake stan, okay? I want to become Olivia Blake's, like, #1 fan. The next book series that I have for you is the Poppy War Trilogy by R.F. Kuang. Firstly, I know it's not on a time crunch here, but can we talk about how pretty this special edition is? Like, look at this. Look at it. Like, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love it. Okay. So, the Poppy War Trilogy is a series that I started in between the summer of me graduating high school and me starting my first and only year of college. I really, really enjoyed it. I just never continued on with it, and I think it was just because, like I said, I was starting college, so it got very stressful in my life at that time. And so I didn't want to add on to that stress by reading this, because this book series is very, very stressful. Like, reading this book stressed me the out, okay? And so I didn't want to read it and distract myself from school. So now that I'm not in school, this would be a great distraction for myself. Although it is hard hitting and I will probably destroy me in the end, it will probably become one of my favorites of all time, like a 6-star book series for me. And I just love the way R.F. Kuang writes. So I'm really excited to finish the series out. The next series that I have for you is one where the last and final book comes out next year, so I won't get around to finishing it till like midway through the first half of the year, because I think it comes out in like April or March. And that is The Legendborn Cycle by Tracy Deonn. This is one of my 6-star series, okay? I absolutely love this. Get book 1 4.5, book 2 5, and I can see myself giving book 3 a 5-star as well, because I'm just way too excited to read it and see how Tracy Deonn ends out this fantastic series that I have absolutely loved and ate up. And like, she has created this found family, these like characters who I think about all the time. Like, the other day I was literally thinking about something and I was like, oh my god, you know who would love this? Bray. Like, that's how much I think about these characters. It's like, they're little small things I'll think about and I'll be like, oh my god, Bray would love that. So I cannot wait for the 3rd book to come out. I have already pre-ordered it. I need to pre-order my Barnes & Noble special edition of it, so I'll have it, because I want to have at least one copy of these in the Barnes & Noble special edition. I need to find a signed copy for book 3 and book 1 as well. I just need these, okay? I need book 3 in my hands now rather than later. We only have 2 more series to talk about, guys. I was scared for nothing. I only have 2 more after this one. This is a duology that I need to finish. That the 2nd book is now out, and that is The Sunbird Trials by Aiden Thomas. I read this in 2024, so this year when I'm recording this. And the 2nd book wasn't coming out to September before I had read this, and now the 2nd book is out, and I need to pick it up. I need to get it because this ends on a cliffhanger, and one of the characters in this book, the betrayal in this book, I'll just put it like that, the betrayal in this book, guys, oh my god, I think about this book daily as well. Like, I think this might be a 6-star, like, duology for me. I did not rate this one 5 stars, but I did give it, like, a 4.75, just because it was that good. Like, it was so close to a 5-star, just not quite, and I can see the 2nd one being a 5-star, and I can see myself rereading this series a million and one times, because I just love it so very much. Okay. only one book series. I feel this one, guys. The next series I have for you is the other Jennifer Lynn Barnes series that I am currently reading, and that is a Nature series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have read the first 2 books in the series. All I have left is All In and Imagine Bad Blood is sitting right here on top. And those are the last 2 books in the series, and I'm super excited to see how the series wraps up. I have yet to read book 3, but I probably will be getting to it sooner rather than later because I have been thinking about these books. I have actually recently picked them up and like been reading little snippets out of book 1 and book 2 because I just really enjoy them that much. Like these are just such good like mystery thriller books to read. I don't know if I consider them a thriller, but mystery books, and they just are so quick and easy, so entertaining. Like this is a YA Criminal Minds, and I absolutely love it. I eat it up. It's so good, guys. I definitely recommend it. It's one of my favorite series of all time. Another 6-star series of mine, probably. I don't know quite for sure yet. I still need to read book 3 and 4 for that to be really decided. But I did rate this one 4.5 and this one 5. And I have a feeling I might rate this one 5. We'll just see how it goes. And the next book series that I have for you is the Psychic Academy series by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. I have read the first 2 books in the series. Unpopular opinion, I like the new covers better than I like these covers. I don't know what it is, but these covers just don't work for me. So I'm gonna get the new covers, which is actually why this one is not on my shelf back here, because I'm gonna get the new covers and they're gonna go over here probably. I obviously don't have enough room, so obviously my books are gonna get rotated in and out of whenever they're on these shelves. But I have read the first 2 books in the series and I have really enjoyed them. Like, yes, they're dark fantasy romance series, but like they're entertaining enough for me to want to read them. Like, they're not a 5-book series. Like, it's not a 5-star series, but I can see myself really enjoying it and like rereading it. Maybe once I fall more in love with some of the characters, it'll be a 5-star series for me. But as of right now, it's not. But nonetheless, I still really, really enjoyed this. This smells kind of good. Anyways, and so I really want to continue on with it. Like I said, I read the first 2, and I have 7 more to go because it's a 9-book series. And the books only get like longer and longer after this one. So, yeah. I think I saved the best for last because I said I have 6-star book series, but I think this series deserves about 1,000,000 freaking stars for how astronomically good it is. And that is the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. I have read the first 3 volumes in the series. I have 4 and 5 to still read, and I think a volume 6 is coming out in 2025. I'm not completely sure, but I think they ended up making it a 6-book series instead of just 5. And I'm super excited. I get more of Nick and Charlie, and I get more of their friends. Like, this series is so heartbreakingly good. Like, yes, you see their struggles once you get to volume 3 of the series, even some in book 2 a bit, but like, it's so worth it. It's so good. I absolutely love it. I only own the first 2 volumes. I need to get my hands on the next 3, and then pre-order the next volume if there is one. But this is just 1,000,000 stars goes out to this. I will forever love these no matter what. My kids will read these. I don't care. They will get to know what real literature is with these books because, oh my god, I love Nick and Charlie and all of their friends so very much. They have a little special place in my heart, and I can't believe the world that Alice Oseman has given me with these characters because I love them. And that is all the book series that I am currently reading at this moment in time. Here's a final number of how many that was. I think it's about 30 though, and that's insane. There's still probably some series that I don't have on this list that I just cannot think of off the top of my head, and if there is, that makes this number go up. If by the time that I am posting this and editing this, I have found more series or I have started more series, I will put them on here for you to see what the number has gone up to. But as of December 7th, this is how many series I talked about in this video. And then if that number has gone up, this is how many series I am currently reading. So with that being said, guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's video. Give it a big thumbs up. If you want me to read a book series more than any other book series I'm talking about on this video, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about some of these series I mentioned. Let me know if you want to know more about some of these series that I mentioned because you've never heard of them before. And we can get talking. We can chat it up about book series. 2025 is my year for finishing series. That's my main goal for making this video, is to hold myself accountable to finish series. I'm going to do this at the beginning of the year. I'm going to do like a mid-year check-in, and I'm going to do the end of the year. So let's see if I can finish more series than I start, and if I fail, then I fail. But that is it from me today. I hope you have a great day, evening, night, morning, afternoon, and whatever part of the world you're having it in. Like, comment, and subscribe, whatever you want to do. Tell your friends. That's up to you. And I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.